Yep, stream will burb. Stream has burbed. Hasbro. Crabmaster has bro. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna shill. No, what? What a stupid joke. Now I stopped singing. Was I singing? Was I ever singing? Well, I probably should have quit game so saves things properly, but whatever. Whatever, move on. Next question. I need to stop taking jokes from other people. So here's the boring part of the stream where I play my own video game, which isn't very good for streaming. Once I can ever get out of full screen. You know what? I need to change the information, so I'm not gonna get out of. I'm not gonna do it. 720p, low bitrate mode. There we go. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Thanks for that. Oh yeah, let me get the game on here. Sources, game. Okay, yeah. It's big now. Look at me playing my own video games. What kind of person are you? No, you couldn't hear me singing. I totally wasn't singing. Oh, what are you talking about? This is the most annoying thing I've ever done. My gosh. Do I have a thumbnail for this? I guess I have a thing? What is this? Is this a thumbnail? Sorry, I'm setting up information. Great gun gauntlet. It's not gonna work, is it? Okay. Playing my own game. Actually, here, let me real quick. Well, okay, you know what? There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, wait, can I put in text? 1 second. Ooh, why is the frame rates all messy? Oh, I can't, okay, I forgot about that. A quick game. I don't know why the GUI gets all freaky. Wait, what do you mean, stream complete? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. That's a. Ooh. Am I killing my bitrate or something? I feel like I'm killing my bitrate. Oh no, I dropped some frames. Oh, that's awkward. Is my game too intense to stream? Oh man, I need to optimize more. Jeez, the bitrate just died. Great gun. Yeah, I'm just gonna be lazy with the seed there. Is that everything? You know what? The streams. I'm just gonna make sure. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna update the information. I'm just gonna roll with it. Yeah. Okay. If you could hear me singing, I could hear you singing. I don't know. Let's see if it works this time, or if it kills my frame rates again. Oh, think high CPU usage would be a problem. I mean, this game is a high CPU usage game, to be honest. I could turn some graphics down. Plus, I guess the weird thing is, this game is best at 60 frames per second, and you guys are definitely not going to be getting 60 frames per second. You know what? I bet that would help the bitrate a little bit. Oh, look, I can't even tell the difference, because the graphic quality's already so high. Okay. Okay, enough troubleshooting. Oh no. Oh, so one of the reasons why I wanted to play my own game today is because, well, okay, here's the weird thing. I actually got it on the Twitch listing because I got it on Giant Bomb, and so now it's on the Twitch listing, which is amazing. Actually, just to be safe, I want to click my own stream and see how it looks with the bitrate. You know what? That's not too bad. It's gonna probably look terrible in a moment, but sure. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's gonna be my seed. You know what? I'm gonna go victory mode. I'm just gonna play my game for a while. Wait. Settings. I did that control video, didn't I? Ha! Yeah, there we go. Of course I should be playing my own game on Friday the 13th. I'm just making sure all the buttons are right. Oh yeah, I don't know. It's such an interesting game. No. Sorry. Not really though. I'd find it really cool to get more people to play, because it's free, but at the same time, because it's free, we also have no money. And because we have no money, we can't afford actual marketing. Yeah, I'd really love to get more people playing this. I just, you know, at this point, I don't care if, like, I don't care if people, like, tear it apart. I just want to know, like, what's good, what's bad, what I did well, what I did poorly. I mean, everything Kyle did, I feel like Kyle, as the programmer, he was mostly just at the bidding of what I told him to do. So a lot of this stuff is, like, gonna be my fault if it's bad, because that means my standards are terrible. Because, I mean, yeah, I'm heavily a designer type person. Ideas, balancing, like, I mean, I guess I did all the balancing, he programmed everything, but all the ideas and balancing are certainly mine. So I don't know. At the same time, it would be also great if just people loved it. How's that gonna happen? Mediocre Gauntlet. See, that's the funny thing is, I feel like a couple months ago, I had a lot of viewers who really liked the idea of, like, playing my game, and then when it finally came out, nobody was interested. It was just, like, really weird feeling. Ow. I wonder if that's how artists deal with the fact that, like, everybody says they'll commission. Oh yeah, I'll buy one of your commissions one day, but I don't have money now. And then nobody ever does. Oops. Like, I feel like the horrible thing for any sort of artist is their direct friends are going to be like... There's this point where your direct friends contribute the least to your what you do. As weird as that sounds. I don't know why. It's just a weird way life goes. Oh no. Oh yes! I do hope this sounds pretty good. I haven't really balanced the audio in a while, so I don't know if the game is pretty much silent. Actually, yeah, I probably should have tested that before stream. Like, can you guys hear the explosions and everything, or is it real quiet? Real quiet. It's probably for the best. You're too afraid to ask? Well, like, pick something good for them to draw and just ask them. Especially if you really like the art style of a friend, it's really worth it. Like, I'm still in that state of having no money. Whoops. So... Huh. So is this should be the same seed. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm still in that state of no money, but, like, I'm friends with a couple people, like, Alti, Zeta, and Tor Kirby. And they both have commissions, I'm pretty sure. But it sounds like kittens? You mean quiet? What do you mean by it sounds like kittens? Do you mean the doots? Do what? I would like to know. How does one sound like mewing? My game is mewing? I'm so confused. Like, does the deflect sound like a meow? This is new. Sorry. I just... Sounds like kittens just threw me for a loop. I love it. I don't know why I love it, but I sure do. Oh man, sorry, I got a bit of sweat. Yeah. Ugh, sweat. That's something you really don't want to hear about. I mean, sweat's not terrible, but people get grossed out really easily. Oh no, your body has salty liquids. My body has salty liquids. Oh no! I don't know. Salty liquids. That's just Mario Kart. Like when you go underwater, salty liquids. Now, are the carts in Mario Kart, do they become submarines or sunken ships? Or underwater cars? Like, is it just... How do they breathe? Maybe those characters just don't need to breathe. Maybe that's why Sonic will never get into a Mario Kart? Oops. Oh, I missed. Oh no, I missed. Yeah, Sonic will never get into a Mario Kart because he can't breathe underwater. Oops. Yo, isn't there a version of Kirby that when underwater he has like a snorkel? But he wears the snorkel even when he's like under the water? That doesn't seem very comfortable. Whee! I guess playing with the same seed gives me an excuse to test to make sure the footage afterward I can check the footage and make sure it, you know, actually is a proper seed. Because the whole idea of a seed is it repeats the same gameplay. Now with a game this complex, it's really hard to tell, but I imagine for like people who ever wanted to like compete with this, it would be very important. Very expensive. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh, I just finally figured out the way to improve the high score listings. Jeez, I'm terrible at this. Because I'm asking them to draw something really dull, but for a fun purpose, and two, because they do it, then I have to start doing it. Oh, interesting. You want to make a board game. Whoa, why did unpausing make lag? Oh yeah, I hate that. Unity's unstable. No! I didn't know you were going to be using it for a board game. That makes it interesting. Well, in that regard, that goes into the normal, any form of game development. Work on the board game for a while, and then, what are with these stutters? Yeah, work on the board game for a while, and then do the commissions. Get something that works, and then get your assets later. Because you never want to... Okay, the thing... I guess one of the things is you never want to get your art before you've got your game. I mean, as part of my job as being an artist, I kind of can't avoid making some form of art early into games development. But you want to get all your like conceptual stuff ready. You want to get your basic functions ready. And then you go serious with the art. So, at least you can set yourself a proper timeline up. Boy. One second, I'm gonna take a drink. Oh! I wonder if I could play this entirely through my preview image. But, no, yeah, once you get your board game, then you can set yourself a nice timeline to, actually take and commission the art. Boop, 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 boop. Fight me. Fight me. Oh no, I'm losing out of points as they leave the arena. What am I gonna do? This game's hard. I'm bad at video games. I feel like this one's a little more acceptable to die than Spelunky for some reason. Like, I don't know, even though Spelunky is considered really hard, this game is still also very hard. Like, to an extra extent. I mean, it's much shorter than Spelunky, so it has to be hard. When we finally release the full version, I hope to make, like, more modes and more stuff to make it just way longer. Because this is the kind of game where it's a lot of short, like, arena stuff. So it's more about the amount of content than the amount of, like, levels. It's really weird. But yeah, it's kind of cool here and you want to make a board game. I wanted to make a board game. Actually, that's one of the first things I ever really developed. I think the board game itself is in a closet somewhere. I lost the rule book, but I still know pretty much the gist of it. Now, the funny thing is, I made this rulebook back when I was really into Age of Empires and Red Alert 2, when I was really little. And, I mean, probably a mid-teen or something. Oh yeah, the rulebook I made, pretty much the way the game played was like a turn-based... It was a turn-based version of how a lot of those RTS games are built, which is hilarious because RTS is real-time strategy. It was pretty much a weird hybrid between a base building game and chess, I guess. Almost more like rock, paper, scissors mixed with a base building chess game thing. I don't know. Because you'd have your buildings which generate you gold every turn. You'd have your units. Well, I guess you'd have your different factories which would produce units. Whoa. Then the units could move such and such a turn, and I think there were going to be walls and towers and things. I never got to a point where I could test it with anybody, which is sad. I didn't have any pieces for it. Whoops. I was trying to carve pieces out of wood. Wish I didn't lose all that. At least I have the board. I think the general idea was it was going to be one of those games where you could build your own board. Because I know there's a lot of those, like, those hexagon-shaped games. Yeah, those ones where all the land pieces were made of hexagons. I think the idea for mine was more, like, larger boards instead of a bunch of little ones. Like, you'd get four tiles, and it would be, like, the size of a Monopoly board. Oh man, great gun gauntlet plus Rabbids, my dream come true. I've been watching through a stream of that recently. Rabbids, Mario plus Rabbids actually looks like a really good game. Though, it's weird because, yeah, I feel like, oh, there I go again. Here I go losing again. Oh my gosh, it's already been like 20 minutes. You know what? Main menu. Gun gauntlet mode. But, so one of the weird things about the Mario plus Rabbids game is I noticed Mario and Luigi both, they both use like repeat sound effects. Why did I do that? Like they use a lot of old sound effects, and a couple modernized ones, but mostly like stuff from just all over the Mario universe. But I think Yoshi uses entirely new sounds. Which, the weird part about Yoshi using new sounds is the fact that they haven't done that in even the Yoshi games in years, from what I can tell. Yoshi's used like the same stuff forever. But also, yeah, from what I can tell from watching gameplay, yeah, I do feel like I would probably get bored of it a lot sooner than a lot of other people would. Or I might just get super into it because it looks like one of those games. It's certainly not one of those games you can binge. Any time of like turn-based strategy type games, yeah, you really can't just binge it for a day. It's more of like a pick up and play type thing, I feel. Which is one of the reasons why the Switch is so great, is because you can just pick up and play all the time. I need more Switch games. I kind of hope Hat in Time comes out on Switch. Though, of course, like anything, it looks like a pretty bulky game in terms of graphical visuals, or quality, I should say. So it'd probably get a little downgraded, but it's so stylistic that it would look good still, so I don't care. I'm not really interested in Ukulele. I super want Odyssey. Actually, one of the cool things about A Hat in Time, Hat in Lately? No, A Hat in Time, Gold, Kyle, the guy I work with, best friend, etc., etc., he donated a good bit, and he was one of the people who donated a lot and got his hat design in the game. So that's one of those cool things, is one of the hats, I think it's like a reskin of one of the hats or something, is of his design, which pretty much he made a quick sketch and then had me redraw it for him. So it's kind of cool to be part of that process, just even a little bit. Whoops! Well, time to replay. Turns out I'm not good at my own game. Wow, plus I'm a bit distracted, because usually when I play this, I'm not talking. You know, it's kind of crazy just how much talking gets in the way of gameplay. Like, you're splitting your focus so much. Just super split focus. One of the funny things is I've realized you can gauge a person's ability to multitask by how much they can talk while playing video games. Some of the streamers I watch, it's kind of funny because they're generally pretty good at video games. And they've also got a lot to say. So you can kind of watch that the more they talk, the worse their skills get. Now, of course, even with that, their skills are still bearable. And there's some people out there, and some people I've watched, who can talk as much as they want, and it does not interrupt their gameplay at all. It's kind of crazy. And there's the people who don't even say, It's like, geez. Geez. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed. Nah, I missed! But, then you got the furthest extent of the spectrum of being able to talk while playing. You've got the Game Grumps. There's 2 people in the room and they can't even play basic gameplay. I have a lot of friends, like, I don't watch the Game Grumps personally, but I had a lot of friends who were into them, and most of them have stopped watching because it's so unbearable these days. It's kind of insane. Like, I guess this kind of counts as making YouTube drama. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear one YouTuber rip on another YouTuber. Then again, I guess you're watching on Twitch, so nah, it's Twitch drama now. I don't think I have anybody watching on YouTube. That half exists for my convenience. Look at all these points. It's like, who am I to judge? But it is hilarious to see the problem. Then again, I can't even play Spelunky, so... You know, I've heard from one of my friends that they were playing Mario plus Rabbids, I think, and it was like absolutely torturous because they, like, Aaron wasn't using cover at all or something, which is like a large portion of the strategy in that game. Ooh. Like, it took him like half the Let's Play or something stupid, I felt like I heard, or at least a couple episodes. Like, he skips tutorials. He's so bad. I feel like, to an extent, it's because he wants to make the point that games should teach you naturally. But strategy games don't have the ability to teach you naturally. I can't, as a game designer, I can't think of a way to be able to explain the ins and outs of, like, all of the mechanics that you have to deal with in, like, an XCOM game without telling the player through a form of tutorial. Yeah, I see that. I mean, I get that they're more about the talking, but I don't know. Why not just have a podcast at that point? Oy. It's so weird. Jeez. Yeah. Man, I've been talking so much, I'm not used to this anymore. Gotta keep getting drinks. You know what's the thing I wish I could figure out? See, one of the annoying parts about using something like the Unity engine... Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, when you pause the game and then unpause the game, it gets all, like, lower frame rate and a bit jittery. Now, of course, you guys can't see this because you're only seeing the stream at 30 FPS. But I'm playing the game at 60 FPS. I can't tell if it's a problem with my computer's VSync. Or if it's a problem with Unity. Because no matter what it does it. My computer... I can turn the graphics all the way down. I can turn the graphics all the way down, and it still jitters after unpausing, and I don't know why. It's not, like, terrible. It's just I'm super picky and want to be able to play my game at a perfect 60 frames per second. Which I think that's the weird thing is, I think they're called jitters or something. Or, I mean, of course they're called jitters, but instead of it being a stutter, it's like, I don't know if it's like one frame off or rendering a frame twice or something weird's happening with the VSync. I don't know. Might also be something related to clock speed desync. If I could figure that out, I would, like, fix it pronto. Version 0.6.2. Please. Please. I don't even know if it happens on anybody else's computer because nobody plays the game. I'm begging you. I'm gonna get down on my knees and beg you to play. I can't do a live beta without people. It's a live alpha at this point, actually, now that I think about it. It's not even a beta. What's the tutorial for this? Okay, so the full version, I do want to have a better tutorial. It's a simple game, generally speaking. So, like, just to play the game, you don't really need much of a tutorial. You use your thumbstick to move, a button to deflect, and a button to do that, which I never do. And then you survive and stuff. But there is actually a how-to-play page, which gives you the more, like, professional information about how everything works. That's for more if you want to, like, get high scores and stuff. You don't really need to read it. That said, it does, like, I guess it kind of teaches you by progressively getting harder. I'll probably have a proper tutorial eventually. Oops. I guess it's like the weird thing is, you boot up a game like Frogger, or you boot up a game like Galaga, or all those old games. It's like one of those in the fact that its baseline is simple enough that you don't really need to learn much. Like, for the most part, I work off of a design philosophy of 4 buttons. If your game can't be playable, well, it's not if your game can't be playable, but I prefer if my game is playable within 4 control buttons. So this one has like 3 and a thumbstick. But yeah, I mean, there's the how to play. The deflector is your basic ability. You hold the button to keep it up as long as you need. The deflector uses up your power meter. Use wisely. It's got a little visual there on the side. The booster is your secondary ability. It slows down time and boosts your speed. The booster also uses your power meter. Use wisely. Now, of course, I could probably explain a little better that the power meter recharges, but it kind of shows it there in the visual. Using your deflector on bullets turns them green. Green bullets destroy obstacles. Difficulty increases slowly during your playtime. Difficulty starts at 0%, maxes out at 100%. Max out difficulty faster by destroying obstacles or collecting point capsules. Play with the Wii balance board? I probably could, to be honest. Points are obtained 3 ways: by surviving, collecting point capsules, or by destroying obstacles. Blah 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 blah. I like this first line on the tips page. Be brave, don't be greedy, because this encourages the player to try to do difficult things. But like, don't be greedy. Don't try to get points. Don't try to deflect too much. I'm way too greedy. And that gets me killed most of the time. If I was playing it safe, I'd beat this way more. You're overwhelmed. Hugging the walls is helpful for survival. Can lead you to nowhere to go. Don't get greedy there. I say it again. Early ended attempting to grab point capsules in dangerous situations. You gain more points in life than death. I feel like that means something outside the game. Like, seriously, that seems deep. Deactivate both your booster and deflector at any time. Use this to conserve your power meter. That's the 3rd button the game uses. You know, I had a video about controls lately. Here, let me do something stupid. So yeah. So I can play this game entirely with a mouse if I wanted. I wonder if I could hook in motion controls. You know what? I'll play collectathon mode with this. So I'm, as weird as it looks, I'm dragging the mouse around. I want to improve this a bit. Oh, I forgot my mouse battery is dying. This isn't going to work too well. Yeah, my mouse battery's dying. That's why the player's stopping. Oh, it's so bad. Why? One second. Wait, I need to pause. Here, I'm gonna I'm gonna move my Bluetooth a little closer for my dying mouse, because this should not be happening. This is it's a little better, I think. Yay, I'm doing it, sort of. The mouse catches the kittens. Oh no. Okay, can you actually explain the kittens? Is that just what the points capsules sound like? Oh, I really need to change these batteries. This is worse than usual. Can I? Oh, I can rotate. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can rotate with the thumbstick while I move with the mouse. Oh, that's so dumb. You know, you can play this game with a GameCube controller if you have an adapter for your PC. Kyle was amazing with how he incorporated some of these things. You know, I've got a Bluetooth thumbstick I should try to get working on my PC. Okay, so do you hear the points as meows? I'm assuming. Meow, 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 meow. I guess I can see it. It's a very synthesized meow. If it is a meow. I mean, I made these sounds. I made all of the, all the music, all the sound effects. I'm not very proud of them, but they work. Uh-oh. I mean, they're not that bad, let's be honest. Okay, this mouse, this is stupid. Let's put that back. Stupid. Oh no, I'm not used to using my thumbsticks anymore. Whatever am I gonna do? You didn't need to hear that. Ah, I got greedy, see? You see? Oh, look. That happens. You know what? I think this is my favorite song in the game. I think, yeah, this is the one. You made it with real kittens? Yes, I did. I don't know how loud that actually is getting. Oh wow, it actually gets really loud. Sorry about that. One of the interesting things that I like about the music, though, you only really pay attention if you have the game for yourself and you can hear it properly. I imagine it's pretty compressed through Twitch right now, so it's probably that and it being quiet under my voice. Probably not the best combination, but the music actually is based on what's on screen. For example, I've got these things called burning boxes, as I call them. These have that like synthesizer you hear, the sharpish one. But if you pay attention there, you could have probably heard that now there's a another synth. Yeah. You heard for a second there was only that synth. That's for the lasers. There's also one for the guns themselves. Oh no! Ah! So that's one of my favorite things about the music, is setting it up that way with all the layers. I feel like it adds a lot to the fact that there's only 5-6 tracks in this game. 4 of them in the actual gameplay, 1 on the main menu, and then another for the victory screens. If I ever get to a victory screen, that is. You know what? I might play a round of this more seriously. Okay. See if oh wait, you know what? That's the victory. That's also for the that's just the end screen music in general. I guess there's a little ditty for when you win. I want to incorporate boss fights into this. Because right now, victory mode, all it does is you get to victory mode. Yeah. Sorry about that. Dragon time, witch time, bullet time, gun gauntlet time. Oh, did that appear on this visual? Oh, I hope not. I hope that wasn't anything important. I just wanted to check something. See, this ability, I don't use it very much. It's very important, however. I think most of my games include a slowdown mechanic at this point. Even the ones that aren't released. You know what? There's one game I have that doesn't have a slowdown mechanic. Which might be the next one I release. Whoops. Maybe every other game will have it? I like that mechanic. You know, I know it's not the most interesting game to watch, but I really, really do recommend you play it. I mean, it's free. You can just download it on our site, goldencrabstudios.com/GGG. I think it's just labeled under. Yeah, there should just be some download links, the trailer and everything. Yeah, I mean, go play it. It's very addicting, even if it's not the most interesting thing to watch. It gets your heart racing. Actually, okay. If you're worried about mortality, if you're like really worried about mortality, just play this game all the time. Ooh, excuse me. I guarantee you, if you're anything like me, which means I cannot guarantee you, if you're anything like me, the way this game feels when you play it, it feels like time is slower. I don't know, like, I'll play around, it'll feel like it's going on forever, and then I'll die, and it's been like 4 minutes. And I'm like, wait, I thought that was 10. It's like, nope, 4 minutes. So yeah, it makes your life twice as long by playing my game. Okay, I said I was going to play a serious round, and then I stopped. No! I almost got japed. Oh. Okay. Didn't see that one coming. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a little extra boring and maybe not talk as much. These games are really hard to talk during. You know, while this game is very niche in its market, I feel, or, you know, it's not even a niche market. It's just one of those markets that, you know, I feel like most people could be interested in a game like this to some extent. It's got everything. It's got blue, it's got red, it's got pink. No. It's just one of those hard to market games, more so. Like, no matter how much everybody would love it, it's hard to show it to them. And you know what? Adding more of a point to it by, like, improving the high score menus and stuff would probably improve a lot of, like, what people think about it. No! So that was only 3 minutes? What? Okay. Oh, there's my mouse not moving again. Literally unplayable. Oh, I forgot the player's hard to see. You can see where they are, kinda, enough. I totally forgot. Yeah, I need to work on this a little bit. This is supposed to be brighter than it is. Well, not brighter, but everything, like the enemies and stuff, are supposed to be glowing. I kind of got rid of that, sort of. I mean, I guess everything that can kill you or help you is glowing. That's not too bad. forgot I got rid of like the glowiness around the turrets. Uh-oh, I've made a mistake. Not really a bad mistake. I just made a mistake. Oh no. One of the things I want to add is a stats screen, so people can see how many bullets they've deflected and how many turrets they've destroyed. As with life, everything everything, I'm gonna assume that's that. Everything that can kill you or help you glows. Just like real life. Money glows. Money glows. Try to figure out which one of those two hurts you and which one helps. Turns out neither. Oh snap. I'm 14 and this is deep. I browse way too much Reddit. To the point where I'm finally one of those Redditors who hates Reddit. There's a lot. You know what? I guess that's a weird topic. I feel like I hate Reddit these days for reasons other than what used to be. Money doesn't glow on trees. I like that. I feel like the site has changed a lot. I don't know. I feel like there's an amount of controversy in saying it, but I guess that was part of the reason why the site used to be great. I mean, what? Is the fact that there's this underlying feeling where it's like everything in life got a little extra politically correct. Which that's the weird part, is Reddit still got a lot of its like less politically correct communities. But the more there's the, I guess when you talk about Reddit and its community, you mean like the all-page community. In the all-page community, yeah. Whoa! Whoa, high CPU usage detected after that. I don't even know what I was talking about. I think it was political. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even like... I too dislike certain overly offensive things, but man... For some reason, over time, social media becomes a lot more of a hug chamber. Where everybody's gotta be nice to everybody else. To an overextent. Which is funny coming from me, a person who generally tries to be nice to people, saying that it can get to be too much. I think part of my problem with the idea of a hug chamber is the fact that no matter how good every single person on this planet could get, like if every person were perfect, you'd still have to deal with pain and problems to a vague extent, just because that's just, you know, random chance of life. Quantum fuzz in the universe causing life to not be consistent. Because tragedy is still gonna happen. Accidents are still gonna happen. Even if it's not a person's fault, stuff just happens sometimes. Unless we could control nature itself. And I think that's the weird part about, like, an all-the-time hug chamber. Is it kind of loosens people up to this weird extent where they're not used to pain. They're only used to the hugs. And when you're not used to pain, it hurts worse. That's the thing I'll always say. Pain always hurts worse when you're not used to it. So I'm not, like, wanting people to be rude to each other or terrible, but just a little less offended by anything just not polite enough by whatever weird standards. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I I'm not even sure if this has any context to my original point. But it's late at night and I'm rambling. You know what? It could probably be taken out of context because I say stupid things. And because one point bled into another point, probably people think it's related. Both points are entirely related. Which they can probably use out of context to make me look bad. So maybe I should not. It's like someone says that everyone should see a therapist, but who's therapizing a therapist? Oh gosh. Well, I was talking the wrong thing. I mean, I guess with that weirdness, I don't think everybody should see a therapist. I do think people trying to, like, be comforting to their friends is a good idea. Now, I think one of my problems with the idea of the internet hug chamber is people purposefully lock themselves away behind their, what they call a safe space almost. And when a person has problems and does that, there's just this general issue where when someone gives them the harsh reality of just what needs to be done, they don't want to hear it. And it's just a bit of a pain. And I guess the other thing is, because nobody wants to talk about the harsh reality of things, a person with problems won't talk to another person about their problems, and so that other person won't know as much as they should about how to help their friend. And that becomes a problem. If you can't help your friend because they don't open up to you, because they don't want to talk about their issues, because they just want to brush it away, or if you're terrible at hearing their issues, or whatever reason they don't talk about it, I mean, it's a form of defense in a way, I guess. I don't know. Life is complicated. This got, like, really serious really quick. I think at this point I'm just talking what's on my mind a little bit, but also a little bit just going with the flow of where my brain is going. Maybe I should censor myself. Nah, it's probably fine. You know what's speaking of the whole harsh reality thing, you know what's a weird topic that's really weirdly controversial on the internet? A lot of people don't like to hear the possibility that their depression isn't permanent. I think it's because people who are depressed, and I should preface this, I've been incredibly depressed and in a similar situation, but I kind of had to just crawl my way out of it, or else I would have been just stuck there longer. Some people are legitimately depressed. Just, they have depression. It's a disorder kind of issue. But for a lot of people, depression comes through life condition. And they don't want to hear that their life condition can improve. I need to use the restroom real quick and get another drink. And get another restroom and use a drink. Don't think about that too much. Think about that more than the stuff I've been talking about. Because it's late at night and you don't need to hear about my heated topics about depression and politics. I get the drink? Don't confuse the two. Already did. Already did. You know, sadly I did not get more vodka. I didn't feel like opening a bottle. Also, usually I mix it with a form of soda, so probably, you know, probably not the greatest idea.
Oh, look at me, I'm all the way down here.
You know, it's getting later at night, so let me just drink some Kool-Aid with sugar in it. Wait, I just realized. Oh. Oh. Stay a bit. Stay a bit. No. Don't do it. Is that now lower than it was? I don't even know. I don't even know. What was I saying? Oh yeah, vodka. I mean, depression. Oh! Vodka is not the solution to depression. Trust me. No, the solution... There's no clear-cut solution, let's be honest. However, an across-the-board thing you can improve your life with. Just, you know what? It works. It works no matter who you are. It works to an extent of some degree. By the way, just so you know, the reason why the conveyors look weird is I've got this low bitrate mode, because you'll notice the moment I turn this low bitrate mode on, it's going to look terrible on stream because bitrate. Anyway. No, yeah, the across-the-board things you can do to improve your life if you have bad moods, just if you're fatigued, if you have depression, if you have no motivation. Work out at least a couple times a week, every day, maybe all but one day of the week. It's worth it. And eat a little better. Because the thing is, your body is a machine. Your brain is a computer. You are an AI. If you want to get dark about it, you are the most sophisticated AI in the universe. Which is less dark. Unless you're someone who wants there to be life in the universe, then it's still dark. Your mind is this amazing thing, but it still runs off of the computer and the machine of your body. Now, if you're not maintaining your computer, dust starts getting getting into the fan. The parts slowly get older, and eventually stuff can break down and just straight up break if you do not maintain it. Now, I guess working out and eating well mostly compares to something such as, you know, something along the lines of cleaning dust out of your computer. And you know what? I guess junk food is like installing a bunch of garbage programs into your computer. Sorry about that, I had to burp. The burp didn't end. Okay, I think I'm good. So yeah, just like maintaining any sort of machine, your body needs maintained. And just like your computer slowing down, running poorly, having problems, that maintenance is very important for your body. Because, you know, there's a lot of like YouTube channels, and they give really good basic overviews of the general understanding of science these days. Oh, what's that one? KingCrabmaster in a nutshell, or whatever. And then there's like minute physics and stuff. And these channels, like, they're not gonna be 100% like everything you need to know, but they're pretty good overviews. And there are a lot of stuff a lot of people already know. And there's a lot of stuff that you can further research based on them. But they had a really good video about all of the little, like, I think it's like bacteria and all the little microorganisms that live in your stomach. And these little microorganisms, it's generally starting to be understood that they send, like, chemicals and signals to the brain, or at least to the nervous system. I can't remember the details. I just recommend, if you can find these videos, to watch them instead of listening to me, like, telephone this basic information. But the basic thing is the little organisms in your stomach talk to your body. It tells your body, to what we understand, it tells your body some of what it needs. And they can contribute to mental health, is one implication that I don't know if it's been fully confirmed, or if it's still just, like, hypothetical. Whoa. Whoops. Sorry, I'm gonna read that in a second. I'm just gonna finish my point. No, yeah, so yeah, a lot of, like, back and forth goes between these little microorganisms and your brain. And different organisms probably give you different signals. So, like, a healthy body might actually have quite physically changeable attributes. Like, if you start eating terribly, you might start encouraging creatures to live in you that, or I should say breeding creatures in you that won't make you as functional as a person. Also, these things contribute to you desiring to eat more unhealthy foods. Because pretty much the idea is they eat and live off of the things you eat. So they might make you desire more of those things. If you're eating healthy things like vegetables and meats, or good meats, I should say, there's quite a few unhealthy meats out there. Things like vegetables and grains and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be breeding more of those kinds of creatures in your stomach, is, I guess, the general implication. Now, again, I'm mostly telephoning here. I don't have the craziest understanding, but it makes sense. It's not that hard to just assume it's probably correct. Which is probably a bad thing for me to do, but, yeah. So that's one thing. So eating healthy, you're probably going to change the ecosystem in your stomach and your body in general. And changing that ecosystem can directly change how your body is functioning and directly change how your mind is reacting to your body's functions. That and just eating healthy is just giving a proper balance of nutrients. When your body is distressed, your brain gets distressed. When you are distressed, life gets terrible. So, take multivitamins, eat decent food. That's all I can really recommend. You know what? I've heard that multivitamins aren't as effective as they could be, but what you gonna do about that, aside from eating a perfect diet? Oh man, this is getting intense. But yeah, exercise is another part of it. You've got a lot of muscles and blood, and I mean, your heart needs exercised or else it's gonna start messing up. Blood circulation's very important. But I guess with, you know, the whole idea of eating healthy and working out, these don't have to be like instant massive changes. You could start working out once a week and then make it twice a week the next week, 3 times a week the next week. Just like get that habit built. Actually, I mostly recommend just work out every day for even a tiny amount of time. I don't care if you're using like half-pound weights. I don't care if you're just jogging in place. Just do something. Just little things. Like, I mean, I started with 10-pound weights with my arm exercises. I'm up to 25 pounds now. It feels good to exercise. It's tiring. If you think of it like more of a game, more of an entertainment, you'll get really into it. I just like the fact that I feel better all the time. And I feel stronger a lot too, which is a nice bonus of exercise. But aside from that, oh, I got so close to the end. Aside from that, eating healthy, the other important one I mentioned. It's good food. Healthy food tastes good, especially when you start eating it a lot. Like, I've got my diet down to a pretty... I mean, I'm... Okay, the other thing is, I'm quite poor. I mean, here I am streaming on a, $700 computer. I'm not, like, horribly poor. I lower class or lower middle. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't have an income myself. I live off my brothers. You can imagine, being a bum. I don't want to be a burden on them. So I found cheap and healthy kind of mix type stuff. Excuse me. So, like, I've incorporated broccoli, potatoes, oats. I eat like a chicken breast and maybe a fish. Now, this isn't all in one day. This is just like my variety of standard food. I've incorporated a lot of things like rice in. Is there anything I'm missing? Oh yeah, eggs. Oh my gosh, I eat so many eggs. Not too many eggs. Cardboard crown. Yeah, I know. Hey, at least my crown doesn't have a Burger King logo on it anymore. Anyway, let me read this finally. I always think halt if I'm depressed. It's either hungry, lonely, tired, angry. I put angry last because it's tricky to solve because you have to ask yourself why you're angry. Yeah, geez, I don't get angry very much at all. I'm really badly sore. Sometimes it makes me angry, but there's no resolution. The only resolution is here. Like, you know what? Yeah, I dealt with like 3 months of tooth pain. I can understand that kind of anger for sure. I'm not sure if that's... Oops. Oh, look, I did the thing with the frame... Wait, what is going on in the background? I don't even know. Oh boy, did I break the frame rates again? No, it's just the menus being stupid. Unity has a terrible menuing system. What was I saying? Yeah, everything... See, that's the other thing. Don't expect it to be instantly solved. If you expect life to just get better immediately, you're just subscribing to that inaccurate notion that, like, depression is a switch. A way I like to put it is that depression, pretty much any problem in life, like any sort of emotional feeling, is more of a crank. See, I like to imagine... My mental picture of it is that you're stuck in a dark room. You're just stuck in a dark room, and you feeling around for a while. You could just sit there. You could sit there doing nothing, and you could feel around for a while. But for a lot of people, the feeling around, they get discouraged. But for other people, they keep at it, no matter how long it takes them, and they finally find that crank handle. And when they finally find it, that sadly doesn't solve the problem. But that brings them to the second step of fixing it. You gotta pull that crank, you gotta tug it, you gotta just keep going at it. And you'll notice, as it goes, if you pay real good attention, the sliver of light at the door nearby, you'll start to see your way out. And some people won't be fast enough to be able to, once they get the crank all the way, they won't be able to duck under that door and escape the dark room. Some people, you know, it's still worth it to just keep at the crank to keep the door open. Even though it's a little extra effort, well, actually, in a way, for like someone with a depression-related, like a disorder that causes like depression, I guess. I don't. I feel like there's technical terms for these things. Instead of just being stuck in the dark, just dealing with the darkness, it's way better to at least have that door open, even if it does take the effort to keep it open. But for a lot of people, if you go long enough, you escape. Sometimes you'll wander back into the dark room, but at least for a large portion of your life, you can be happy. Even if you've been in the deepest points of depression. Some people don't escape. Life, sadly, isn't fair that way. But I feel most people, even with serious depression disorders, can get to a point of happiness. It just takes more effort depending on the person. I was saying tooth? Yeah, okay, actually that's a story. I had terrible tooth pain. So I think it was actually Christmas last year. I bite into a soft bagel, a lovely, tasty soft bagel, and these crunchy bits were in it. I couldn't understand what was with the crunchy bits until I realized one of my teeth was crumbling. I'm assuming it's just me biting. It's just me like dealing with the. I was terrible at brushing my teeth as a teenager, so now it's come back to bite me. But it was kind of like one of those nightmares where your teeth just start falling apart. Except for with just like half of one of my teeth in them. It was one of my back molars. I don't have my wisdom teeth in yet, but it was one of my back molars. There was no pain. It just half my tooth was gone suddenly. Wow. I totally lost that. So at first it wasn't terrible. But over a couple months, like a month later, I'm assuming it had started rotting away because it was visible. And I had this serious daily tooth pain every single day of my life for like a month or two. Now, the worst, and you know what? It still hasn't gone away. The pain has gone away, but if I drink something cold, I still deal with the pain. I don't have the money to get it fixed or removed. Yeah, that was fun. You know, I also started getting cluster headaches around that time. That was fun. Yeah, the worst part about the cluster headaches is I think they were probably because of the tooth pain headaches. It's like, great, thanks, body. I know there's a problem. Don't give me another. Thus is life. You know what? I'll take the tooth pain. See, the tooth pain's probably the worst thing that's happened this year. Not too bad, to be honest. Last year, the worst thing... You know what? The worst thing that happened last year wasn't even as bad as this year's. Which was me dating my, like, childhood friend. Oh no, I picked that option in the RPG. Picking the childhood friend option in your RPG isn't a good idea, apparently. Nah, we, you know, dated for like a month and then broke up, so... I mean, yeah, that's not terrible compared to tooth pain. But then tooth pain isn't terrible compared to, you know, I think like 3 years ago or something. My dad was like dying of heart attacks. He didn't die, but yeah, that was terrifying. Which that's not as terrible as the year after that. My friend died. It's like, oh my gosh, life got way better than it was. This house is cursed, just due to the sheer number of terrible things that have happened while I've lived here, compared to the rest of my life. I think the only reason why I brought that up is I was talking with like friends about it because I was talking about depression just now, and you can imagine from just all that series of unfortunate events I could just list, my biggest my biggest experience with depression was just this horrible list of events that just went badly, and my life just got like torn apart bit by bit. But no, yeah, I shouldn't have gone silent after saying something so messed up. I generally have a positive outlook on life, and the fact that I don't believe life can be worse feeling than that. So all of my better years are ahead of me. Like, legitimately, I'm good at finding worst case scenarios. And you know what? There are a couple that could probably be worse. You know what? I'm not even gonna be like sugarcoating life. But the likelihood of something being that bad is like, whoa. You know, you can go on in life. Things get terrible, life gets terrible, but you're not terrible, so life can be good. I guess that's a weird way to put it. You know what? I'm terrible. I need to get good. Oh, I get so, like, up there. You know what? I'm gonna pay attention. See if I can win with one life. Probably can't. I'm gonna go real silent here. Whew. You know, I tried to balance this. Oh, I shouldn't talk. No! Given your tooth problems, you really shouldn't be sugarcoating your life. Thanks. Yeah, you're right. I'm really thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty because I'm single. No, what? I'll be right back again. This gives me an excuse to not be sitting. Because if I sit for hours, my paranoia sets in that I'll develop blood clots. You know, I just realized you can watch me walk all the way out, and you can see the fact that I'm wearing, like, stupid shorts, and that my legs are like Sasquatches. Like, each leg is a Sasquatch. I like this game. You know what? I don't care if not very many people play this. Actually, I do care. I hope 1 million people play this. But at the same time, I made a game that I enjoy. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I tried to balance this game to, not surprise the player. Because one of the problems with a game like this is you can just get stuck in, like, these impossible situations. And, like, what are you gonna do about that? So, I tried to balance it as much as possible to avoid that. Ugh. You know, I'm playing the same repeat seed, but I'm mostly doing that just in case anybody does want to download the game and compete against me right now. Man, I would love to, like, multi-stream, like, me versus someone else. You know, it would be great to be able to somehow get this game running well enough to do local split screen. Or some form of versus mode.
Last night that I was in a hospital and a patient died because their guys on me. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. Oh, I hate dreams. Terrible dreams. You know what? A weird thing. So, okay, I never had the teeth crumbling dreams until one of my teeth broke. And then I started getting those. I've never had a hospital dream because I've never been in a hospital. Well, okay, I've been in a hospital to visit, but never, like, I myself have never been in a hospital. Oh, come on. Well, okay, I have, but I was too young to remember because I did get stitches on my forehead once. But that was when I was like, what, 3? But, hi, CPU usage detected! Oh, no! Is it really, though? Yeah, I guess so. At least it's not my GPU. My GPU was giving me problems. No, yeah, one of the reasons why I'm terrified of blood clots is that's why my dad was in the hospital, partially. Well, see, I don't know if he already had the blood clot. So he had a heart attack, and then he had another heart attack. And I think they discovered the blood clot after the second heart attack. It was a huge blood clot. Oh, you know what? It was a blood clot that caused the heart attack, because, okay, I recall. So his heart had a blood clot. And, apparently he had had it for years. Possibly years. I don't know. Judging by how bad it was, it could have been years. I'll read that in a second. But no, yeah. So it was one of those things where he had the clot, and his body actually created another, like, bridge vessels to his heart. So his heart was functioning fine for years because of that. And he didn't even know his heart was clotted because it had, like, mutated to deal with it. But I think when they fixed that problem, the hospital he had gone to did, like, a terrible job. Like, an absolutely terrible job with the procedure. He ended up having to go to another hospital because what they had done had nearly killed him because it started developing a clot in his leg. Like, they seriously messed up with him. Like, that messed me up, thinking about a hospital almost killing my dad instead of saving him. Like, jeez. Also, euthanasia. That's a weird one. Ooh, boy. I'm not sure. That's a hard question. I think it has to be very situational to like, let a person be euthanized. I feel like that should be saved if their problem can't be solved. Like, there's no way. Because, see, I guess I have this, logic in life where I don't like the idea of the you of now preventing the you of the future from being able to enjoy life. I mean, if you want to get euthanized because you have an uncurable disease that you are dying of, and you just want to end it peacefully, yeah, maybe you should just be allowed. But if there is a chance you can be saved, I mean, some people would say it should still be up to that person if they should make that choice, but I feel in most cases, if a person has a chance of being saved, they should rather take it. Now, of course, if their situation leaves them crippled for the rest of their life, I think there should be also... that becomes a case where I think people who are crippled should have better care. Like, we're getting to this point in society where we're running out of jobs because everything can be automated. Maybe we should make a larger industry out of taking care of people. Because there's plenty of people without jobs who could just get a job doing that, because there's plenty of people with problems that they can't work for themselves. So I don't know. That's a weird side topic. If a person's in something like a coma and can't make the choice, I feel weird about that. I know it's really expensive to keep a comatose patient alive. I know if I was in a coma, I'd likely not want to be having the plug pulled on me, because there's been these off chances where people just get out of it out of nowhere. Alzheimer's is weird. Is a weird option. I feel like, see, the person, I feel like in a weird way that becomes a weird ethical and just a strange debate about what Alzheimer's is. Because some people seem to argue that Alzheimer's means they're just lost. Other people seem to believe Alzheimer's, the person is trapped inside their own body. And there's just a whole bunch of branches. See, that one's way outside my league of understanding, to be honest. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah. See, I think the weird part for me is I used to know this guy online. He tried to commit suicide and failed and ended up in a coma for like months. But eventually he actually got out of the coma and he's fine now, which I'm really glad about that. But I don't know the full details. I only knew him over the internet. I'm still friends with some of his friends. I haven't talked to him in ages, though. We had a kind of a falling out before the whole thing. I do hope he's doing well. I haven't heard about him in a while. But, no, yeah, I feel like I remember hearing he was in, like, some of the deepest levels of coma. Or at least one of the deeper levels. But he eventually started showing signs of activity. It feels weird to think about the fact that some people are trapped inside their own body like that. But even the off chance of escaping just weirdly sounds worth it to me. I feel like life is too precious to waste like that. Like, I'm sitting here streaming, playing video games. Just what some people might say as wasting my life away. But this is still living to me. So, it's still a life worth living. I would escape a coma to play video games. Well, there's other reasons. Plus, there's the non-selfish reasons where your family getting to talk to you again, even if you're still like somewhat crippled from it, I feel like would be a great thing for them to be able to have. Oh, hi, Jezared. Oh, sorry, you're returning when the topic gets really dark about things like euthanasia and comatose and depression and more depression. Welcome back, though. Now, I certainly wouldn't want the plug pulled on me, even if I was really low-level activity. There's always an off chance. If I'm in a coma, put Barney on. Because I hated Barney as a kid, and it would probably work the same way as that guy who escaped his coma due to his hatred for Barney. Oh, you didn't know this was out? Wow, my marketing is terrible. I swear I've retweeted quite a few posts of this being out. Yeah, you can download it. GoldenCrabStudios.com/GGG. Or just look up Great Gun Gauntlet or... Yeah. I'm surprised. Oh, you don't have a Twitter. That explains it. Yeah. I guess with me not streaming, you wouldn't have known. Maybe we should play some fun Would You Rather? Sure. What would I rather? Oh, that's this is a stupid chat game. What would I rather? What would I rather? What would you rather? Okay, I should play with the chat a little. Would you rather be Rickrolled every day of your life or never hear Rick Astley again? How do you pronounce it? Ashley? It's not Ashley. It's like Astley? I don't even know. Personally, I would rather be Rickrolled every day of my life. Would you rather not be able to speak or write or not be able to hear? Ooh, this brings up an interesting topic I feel like I've talked about. So I can't speak or write. So that would pretty much... Could I type? I'm assuming this includes typing, right? Like, typing counts as writing, I'm assuming. I'm just gonna wait for the answer, the technicality answer. Yeah, no language. I'd rather not be able to hear. I'd way rather not be able to hear. I really like Rick Astley's music, so I'd definitely be able to hear it every day. I unironically sing that song. But, yeah, I can deal with not being able to hear. I mean, I like music, but it's not everything it's not everything about me, I guess. Not being able to talk and not being able to type or write means I couldn't develop video games, for sure. I couldn't do a lot of things I would like to do in life. Sorry. I feel like I would also rather... See, here's a weird thing. I think I would rather be able to taste than hear. While hearing is important for safety. For, like, hearing vehicles and stuff. Like, I can still look around with my eyes and just be careful that way. But not being able to taste, I really like food. But also, at the same time, if I can't taste a rotten thing, that's probably going to... There's probably a more likely chance I would eat something rotten because I can't taste than there is I could get hit by, like, a loud vehicle.
Here, I can just replace reading and writing with sign language.
I guess you could. Yeah, lifestyle differences I could definitely see contributing to being what you'd rather. Like, I mean, if you could hear, you could just listen to my streams. You might not be able to type, but at least you can hear what I'm talking about. Which means you can fall asleep to them like you used to. which if I start ending streams earlier in the evening, means I might finally get you to go to bed earlier. I don't even know. Do you go to bed late? Is that joke valid? Validate me! Sorry. I feel like certain streamers for sure, with clicking Rick Astley songs in their chat accidentally, I feel like they would definitely rather not hear that song. Mostly for probably copyright reasons. Oh boy.
Would you rather have...
What is this question? I think I'd take the eyelashes. I'd take the eyelashes. It's not much different, let's be honest. I mean, what? What a weird... Jeez. Because a bumpy eyelid sounds terrible. You know, I've had, like, a moment where, like, my eyelid got messed up, I feel like, and it's just so uncomfortable because it's brushing on your eye. It's like, no, don't do it. Don't do this to me. I don't even know, like, what I was doing there. I guess life is itchy in general, though. I'm kind of used to itchiness. Look at me. Look at me, my beard, my weird headset. Just everything about me is itchy. I'm quite desensitized to itchiness, except for if I'm trying not to move. Like, if I'm trying to, like, sit completely still in bed, I get super itchy. Oh, I hate it when they're stuck in there forever. Also, I got smart and started pausing the game instead of dying. You know, I wish I could set this up so it looks like I'm, like, turning to look at the chat, like, on the stream design. You gotta love that limit of sound effects. We actually have an idea to fix that in the later versions of the game. Actually, in all of our games, because one of the problems with Unity is the way sounds work, there's a limit of whatever amount of sounds at once that you can be playing. But also there's some, like, glitches with it where, like, the audio gets all crispy and crunchy, and I hate it. But we found a workaround that I think we're going to start incorporating in our games. You know, I wish I could afford actual marketing for this. Because, like, right now I'm relying on being able to just tell people about it myself. Which doesn't work out when I don't stream for a while and some of my streamer base doesn't even know it's out. Ain't that great. This again? Ooh, points. Oh man. Oh, I'm so close to the end. If I collect points, it speeds it up a little bit, so I might as well. It's risky, but it's worth it. In the end of times.
I won!
I actually did it on stream. That's amazing. Perfect. would I rather delete? Oh, Halloween. I love April Fools way more than Halloween. I know people who would go definitely for April Fools, but I'm definitely like, I love April Fools. I'll get back to you in a moment. I'm gonna use the restroom again, because I don't have a bladder problem, but I've been drinking a lot of water because I'm thirsty, and it's convenient because it lets me stretch. And bye. Returning. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I really like April Fools. You know what? I even released the original update of Great Gun Gauntlet on April Fools. So, yeah. Wait, what is that? YouTube user KingCrabmaster? Pretty sure no one said that. It's because I don't have a proper, like, I guess that, yeah, that's the easiest way to express it, because all the other ones I can say, like, at Twitter. Twitch is just KingCrabmaster, but it's the user Crabmaster because I don't have a custom URL yet. I could probably get one. I might have enough subscribers now. I'm not sure. But the other reason I don't really, Halloween for me, like, April Fools is a lot of, like, there's gonna be pranks, and it's fun in that kind of way. Also, these are the times to beat these times. Do it. I dare you. Get under this amount of time. Maybe get over this score. Whichever you choose. Beat the game. Do it. The seed is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you wanna play this seed, here. If you wanna play the seed, put it into here. Gun Gauntlet mode or whatever. Yeah. I'll play Super Rotators like an idiot. Halloween for me is this weird thing where it's like, I don't know. April Fools is expected people are gonna do pranks and silly stuff, but Halloween's got this weird thing where everything is completely expected. It's all the same sort of parties. It's all the same sort of scary movies, costumes, trick-or-treating. It's very much a holiday that's what I don't like about holidays. I guess you could almost consider it a consumeristic holiday in that regard. Plus we don't do trick-or-treating. So no one knocks on our door or pranks us or anything weird like that. We end up turning off our lights on our porch, like they tell you to, so that our house gets skipped for our community. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Oh man, my computer really hates the fact that I'm streaming this while playing this mode. Also, here's your meows. Your kittens. I'm killing so many kittens, Thomas, if that's what you meant. My game is super difficult. Well, good. That's what it's supposed to be. Oh, you're right. There wouldn't be a Treehouse of Horror episode. Oh, those are the best part of The Simpsons. Also, yes, if it's difficult for good reasons, I'm happy. If it's difficult for bad reasons, critique me. Also, this mode is a joke, like a literal joke. History on this mode. I needed to test a bug, so I just started spawning everything. So this is like our benchmark mode, because this is the most graphically, because of all these point capsules in general are very graphically intensive. Yeah. Because they're super graphically intensive. Oh, it's just kittens. It's not killing kittens. Well, okay. We've cleared up that controversy. Sorry. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, that mode's a joke. I needed a test set of patterns just to spawn a whole bunch of garbage. And then I'm like, wait a second. I need a stupid name. Super Rotatos. I named it Super Rotatos. And so it became the mode about all of the rotating objects in the game. You know, for having 4 modes, it's more like 3.5. The final game's probably going to have more like 8 or 10 modes, to be honest. Let's be honest. I'm going to be Collectathon next. But yeah, the game is meant to be as difficult as possible. No, it's got a learning curve to it. It certainly does, but that's what it keeps you hooked with. Because it's a very short game. So replayability is the fact that you can actually beat it. Which, to note, I guess the thing never really point out. At some point I need to have, like, tooltips. But turning on victory mode. Actually, let me go to the main menu real quick. Yeah, if you turn on victory mode, you'll notice it'll just put the difficulty down to the base. So you have to go all the way through. But when you lose, you explode, but when you win, you also explode. You explode with style. I've been talking super fast tonight. Maybe I should slow down. No, yeah, you explode with style! I literally could not see. We should, yeah. Because you rocket off. You go straight up. Right? Right? That's how this works, right? What time is it? It's almost 11. I'm debating if I should just play a little bit longer. I don't know. I mean, we've been having a... It's good to come back. And it's nice to have, like, a nice stream of this. You know what? I wonder if I'll divide this and Spelunky into, like, separate videos somehow. YouTube has this feature where you can cut parts of videos out. Like, I might upload Spelunky separately and, like, cut it out of this stream. Give or take if the video comes out well. But, I'm still trying to picture how these are kittens. I mean, I know they look like Katamari Damacy heads, but they sound like kittens? I mean, that's pretty fitting. We sure do like kittens here at Golden Crab Studios. You know, the name Studios is silly because it exists off the technicality that we both live at different houses. And I consider my room my studio. We're not very professional, let's be honest. I mean, you could just call it Golden Crab. I still love the name Gold and Crab, except for it's Golden Crab. Golden Crab. I challenge everybody watching me to make a video beating my high scores. Do it! Do it now! Or don't. I kinda hope one day I get lucky and a YouTuber plays this game. It'd probably just be a little short video. Like, it'd probably attract those types of YouTubers who like to make, like, smaller videos where they like play for an hour but then clip it together into like 10 minutes. Like all the good parts. Oh, you don't have a PC? Do you have a Mac? It's Mac compatible. I would like to be able to get this on an Android or an Apple device, but I mean, it probably would run well on a Pixel. But I can't guarantee a bad phone. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something funny. Whoops. I'm gonna make this game look as terrible as possible. Oh wait, forgot one. Oh my gosh, look at that! Oh, it's all smooth. Oh, the iPhone version. Now you don't have an excuse. Yeah, Unity is great. And even if your computer is terrible, you can always here. Actually, I can make this worse. 1 second, I'm gonna make this worse. Minimum resolution. Wait, why isn't that working? Okay, 1 second. Why isn't that working? Also, why did I restart? I'm a fool. Can I not? Well, why can I not? Oh, I can make it bigger! It's smaller. Wait, was it just, like, considering it already selected? Oh, look at how chunky it is! Oh, it's gross! Look at the pixels! I bet you can see those pixels! I feel like there's very few computers that should be able to play this at least at minimum settings. Let's get this back. It's terrible. I don't recommend turning on ambient occlusion unless you have a beast PC. Did everything turn on again? No, it didn't. I thought something was missing. You know what? Because I was like fiddling around, I wouldn't be surprised if like it's gonna lag because my computer hates VSync. I don't know why. I think it's just my graphics card is not good. I know, it's a terrible font for low resolution. Actually, I've never even... Let me go back to that real quick. How I shunt boxes with momentum. They still snap to a grid? What do you mean they snap to a grid? I'm trying to figure that out. Oh, do you mean when they spawn, they're snaps to a grid? Yeah, it is kind of a terrible font for low resolutions, let's be honest. I'm not the happiest with the font. Maybe one day I'll change it. I spawn everything on a grid. Spawning everything on a grid is mostly for gameplay convenience. I don't know why, but I like really thick fonts. I think for some reason it gives me that factory vibe. Huh. Oh, you know why they look like they snap? I think it's the way we have the push physics. They stop very abruptly is the problem. We could probably make them a little more slippery. It's because the way the physics works. The sliding is quite exponential, I guess you could say. They're given momentum, but they're quickly, like, the momentum is quickly taken away. So the longer it goes, the faster it's losing speed. It's probably not the most realistic thing in the world. Sleek buttons with no drop shadow and no shading. Oh, you mean like how chunky these big buttons are? I'm not the happiest with the UI, but I really do like big buttons. I think the UI could be a lot cleaner. I actually think the UI is a little ugly, but it is not my forte. In fact, this UI design was designed 2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta tell you, I hate working with UI. It's the worst. Oh, are you trying to play with mouse and keyboard, Jezered? Here's a recommendation I have for you. Set it up with your mouse deflect, this dashing, this cancel button, the middle mouse button, and then hit the player follows mouse button. What this lets you do is, I actually have a video up that shows you all the control styles. This lets you drag the player around with your mouse if you're using a mouse. I do recommend controller though, but this is completely playable. I wanted to make sure it was accessible. I probably could have been a lot more clear about the different control styles, but it is there. It's a little harder to play like this. I prefer looking and moving in different directions. Oh, I see. Let's see. What could I set up? Looking and moving. Do I have? I guess you would need. I forget. 1 second. Can I use WAS for this? Oh, I can. Yeah, you can use WAS to do the rotations when this is set up. Oh, this is weird. I guess you could do this. This is like inverted of what it is normally. Oh, that's weird. I've never really played with this. I'm not sure if I recommend this specific way, but yeah. I'm gonna just turn that off now. I so much more like recommend controller because you can do weird things like this. Oh! Oh! Did that break it? Nah, it's a Nintendo controller. It'll survive. You know, I really like. Good joke. I will admit, I legitimately dropped my controller. One thing I hate is the menu has no way of defaulting. I had Unity problems. We'll find a workaround. Yeah, it's a Nintendo controller. It can take a beating. I actually recommend you use the Wii U Pro controller. There's a software called WinU Soft. What it means. Ah! Are we back? Are we back? Oh, hi, Dale. I'm a clumsy piece of garbage. This isn't even a joke. These are legitimate mistakes I'm making. Wait, how did I wrap my wire around? Oh, no. Wait, what? How did I? Huh? I knew today would be an amazing day for streaming. You know what? This is less chaotic than my streams normally go. You know, I legitimately just stuttered there because I have a short in my wire. I've had a short in my wire for a while. And the audio goes out, so my brain gets all confused. Okay, let's back up. Okay, so I consider Great Gun Gauntlet a dual stick game. I consider Great Gun Gauntlet a dual stick game, even though it's not a shooter, which is hilarious because it has gun in the title. For any dual stick game, I really recommend this controller because what it means, don't you dare do that again. I can't really demonstrate this at this angle, but what it means is your thumbs are in this really comfortable position. Wait, would you rather have an unpopular originally created game or a popular originally created game but its assets were stripped and replaced with Mary-Kate and Ashley? I'd rather have the unpopular game. See, what you just said pretty much sums up most of WayForward's games. And I do not want to be stuck in what I like to call the, I don't want to get stuck in licensed game purgatory. I hate licensed game purgatory. You know, some developers purposefully like to stay there, but I just hate the idea of being, like, just strangled down into a chair and told to make something by their desires. Like, I feel like licensed games are generally not good because executives tell you what to do. You know, there are a couple really good licensed games. But I guess the other thing is, I'm the kind of guy who already has like 12 backlog game ideas that I really like the idea of, but I probably won't ever get a chance to make because 12 more are built a day. Like, I built this game's entire concept in a single night. Like, everything you see in this game was a single night's brainstorm, and then like 2 years of development. Or like half. I'd say this was more like half a year of development and a year and a half of learning. But Tish. Oh gosh, I just suddenly lost 2 viewers. What did I say? Did my 2 viewers really like licensed games? Oh, you know what? Dropping frames. Only dropped a couple frames. Weird. I think we're fine though. Huh. Yeah, those are normal frame drops and not like the terrible ones we were suffering from earlier. You know what? I'm getting tired. I probably won't stream for much longer. Fight me, mate. Yeah, I have way too many game ideas to want to get strapped down with licensed games. he just left all of a sudden? I'm scared. Well, I guess that's a good sign that it's about time to end the stream. Wait, what? Why are you screaming crab? I don't know. Well, the audio's not busted, so it can't be anything terrible. What was I gonna say? I've actually got 2 more games in development right now. Yeah. One's a puzzle game and one's a Metroidvania, actually. So I guess those are your hypes. I think those 2 games are going along way better than this one ever did. Like, we've got a lot of the core mechanics, like the puzzle game that we're working on. It'll be like a Tetris versus Tetris kind of puzzle game, but also not actually Tetris. Whoops, I'm dead. One more round of this, maybe that'll be the end of the stream. No, yeah, so we've got we've got like a versus puzzle game that, like, the basic single player is practically in place. So what we still have to do is the local multiplayer is, I think, the next step afterward. I think we're gonna have 1 or 2 more like modes that you can possibly do. So those are other things. I want to have like a single player campaign. That's what I was trying to say. Like just little missions, like, you know, I mean, you've got Boy Tetris plus rabbits. Oh gosh. Oh jeez. It's just the weird like push puzzles from the Mario plus Rabbids game mixed with Puyo Puyo Tetris. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so once we get like all the single player and local multiplayer stuff, we are then tortured by the fact that we're going to have to figure out netcode, which is probably going to be the biggest hurdle that project is going to take to like complete, because we have no idea how to deal with netcode. Besides netcode, yeah, this next project we're going to probably sell on Steam. We can probably use some of Steam's infrastructure for like the online. So yeah, I really do hope Steam offers some options for like netcode stuff, because that would really help us. Because like I don't know how we're gonna set up a server for like matchmaking. Like the game can actually be P2P for like normal connection. Like it's only gonna have up to 3 players. It's only gonna have up to 3 players. And which, okay, actually that's an interesting topic. Is the only 3 players stuff? What killed me? Okay. I've noticed I know a lot of people who are groups of 3 friends. Like, I've got 2 brothers, so that makes 3 of us. But then I've got, like, there's Alti and Tor and Lunar who had the Scrawlers. That's another group of 3. There's the Runaway Guys. That's another group of 3. The Game Grumps is sort of a group of 2 at times, 3. That's a weirder situation. That's more like 2 groups of 2. Oftentimes, like when I watch like Vine Sauce, he'll be usually like with 2 or 3 people. But groups of 4 seem more uncommon. Oh, my high CPU's thing is... The 3rd is the editor. Yeah. Oops. So I just feel like 3 players is enough for a puzzle game. Plus the other thing is, I was playing some Puyo Puyo Tetris and I'm like, 4 player is chaotic, like too chaotic. I think 3 player is within the realm of enjoyability without too much chaos. I guess that's just my thoughts on the matter. Plus the puzzle game, I'm setting it up with like 3D models and stuff. Because you always see like very 2D visually puzzle games. Now I might have 2D options for people with bad computers, but I wanted like 3D models to make it look a little extra good. So, I feel like 4 players, optimization-wise, I mean, we're talking like over 100 pieces per board. And then 3 boards, that's over 300 pieces easily, like 400 or so. That's a lot of models, and Unity's not the most well-optimized thing in the world. Also, yeah, I've hit that point of the night where I'm just too tired. So I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna give up. I'm tired. I'm not bad. Like they didn't get any love. Tetrasphere. I'm assuming that was Tetris on a sphere. Yep. Rest in peace, video game. So, yeah, that's the stream for the night. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'm gonna stream more now. I didn't have any terrible frame drops, so I was only N64. Interesting. Yeah, I never heard of that. You know, it's funny with puzzle games. It's very hit and miss whether or not like you get like real lucky and everybody plays your game, or just nobody plays your game. But yeah. Yeah, boy. Sorry, that was unacceptably. That was unacceptably boy. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I guess hopefully in a couple months I'll have a puzzle game out. Great Gun Gauntlet, it's out now. Download it, play it, enjoy it, hate it. I have a Metroidvania out probably next year. And that's the stream, everybody. Bye.